Guru Kripa Kevalam. Namaste, namaste everyone. Very warm welcome to Satsang today. Guru Sri Muji Baba ki Jai. What shall we speak about today? I'm happy to answer some questions if there are. Meanwhile, we can have a short story. It's really short. Once there was a person who didn't exist. That's the end of the story. I need to edit this part out.
Not expand and how he did not. What happened? What he did
To not exist.
That will become a big story.
That's the story. The question is, good morning Ananta Guruji. Haven't got a chance to attend the satsangs for many days, but the question was bothering me a lot. And I wanted to ask you how it can be taken care of. I have a class at 12, so I will leave at 12. Yes, my dear, you want to type the question or you want to come up? There it is. My friend says, it is possible, but I wonder how. And if it is possible, then why would we need relationships then? Because according to my limited understanding, we have relationships to make us feel complete. But when one's complete in himself, herself, why would such a person need any real relationship thereafter? My friend says, it is possible, but I wonder how. If it is possible, then why would we need relationships then? Because according to my limited understanding, we have relationships to make us feel complete. But when one is complete in themselves, why would such a person need any relationship then? To find completion in oneself.
Good morning.
Good morning, my dear.
Namaskaram. Actually, I was going through this thing that, whenever we do something for someone, I'm not sure if you're able to see me.
Can't hear you so well, my dear. Can't hear so well.
So whenever we do something for someone, there tends to be a kind of expectation in return, which I know is not correct, but then, it tends to be there no matter what I do for it. So then it can, in turn creates a lot of suffering when we don't get the expected thing in return. Maybe it's a small thing only, but then that creates a lot. I mean, this small thing creates a lot of suffering. So, I was wondering, because my friend says that he has gone through that phase and he says it's possible. I've been trying, but it doesn't seem possible for me.
Okay, my dear, let's look at this question. So, as long as there is belief in separation, as long as there is actual belief that there are two,
yes,
then it will seem like whatever one is doing You see? It can seem like one is doing for another. You see?
Hmm.
This possibility of one and another can be there as long as there is a belief in this separation.
Yes.
So the invitation here is to check whether really there are two. That's why it is Advaita, that there are no two.
But now, for us, it's something like we are wanting or trying to believe in. It's not an experiential reality for us, no?
Yes, yes, but okay, can we verify this? You see,
How?
what if it is the opposite? What if the two-ness is a belief and your experience of reality is only one? Huh? So what you have to do is, like we are validating whether the separation is a belief or whether not two-ness or non-separation is the belief. So when you don't have any belief right now, are there one or two or none?
Right now, it seems like it's me and there are others.
Huh? So just look and say, what are you calling me? What are you calling me?
This body mind.
This body mind. This body mind. But you know by now that there is no me in this body mind. So body is a different body from that which was born. It's a different body from that which was 2 or 3 years ago, isn't it? Every cell of this body is different. So there is no continuity with this body. There is no constant me that was born to our mother, which is here now. The mind is constant. The mind is what? Just a bundle of thoughts. So it is coming and going. When the thought is, we say, oh, mind is. When there is space between thoughts, there is no mind. You see? So you
Yes.
cannot be something which is coming and going like that because you are referring to yourself as a continuity, isn't it?
Sorry, but there's a story that says, okay, this person did this to me. Those thoughts, the
Exactly.
thoughts past, they become
Exactly.
this so-called me, and they
Yeah.
start bothering.
Exactly. So then, if it is a story, then this one is a belief. We are validating which one is the belief, isn't it? So
So
belief,
that,
story, isn't it? So if you have no story right now,
huh?
what is your separation?
Uh, That's true, but then I don't know the old conditioning. It's very difficult to, let go of it.
What if this was also just another thought? And actually, in this moment, you are empty of it.
In this moment.
You are empty of your past conditioning. In this moment, if I don't give you a moment to think, you are empty of all conditioning. No? You can't even tell me your name.
Yes, yes.
You see? So, without belief, without condition, what are you?
Just a witness to everything.
And that which is arising, that everything, what is that? What is the separation between that which witnesses and that which is arising?
No. That which is witnessing and that which is arising.
Yes. Or that which appears, that which is witnessing and that which appears, if you don't have a belief, if you don't have a story, if you don't have a notion, what is the separation between them?
Hmm. I don't know. It's like, even then, I also become a thing to be witnessed.
Okay, can you
As
witness
in
this eye?
my thoughts.
Can you witness this eye and tell me what was witnessed?
As in, it's something like, there's a movie going on and I'm the main protagonist, and then the story is going on from this protagonist point of view.
Yes, yes. But what we were doing is that we were validating whether the separation, me and other, was the story. You see? And what is naturally here without the story. Because when I said that there is only one, there are no two, you see, then it can feel like, oh, but that is the belief. So we were just checking that in experience, whether there is separation, or in experience, whether there is only oneness. That is what we are validating. And my proposition to you is that separation is the belief, not oneness.
Okay.
You see? So stay just with your experience. Don't resist any perception and don't try to solve anything also. Just stay with just what is. And then tell me how you have this sense of me and other.
Okay, as what I can understand, Guruji, is because whatever hurts me emotionally or physically, it's limited to my body and my thoughts. And because if someone else gets hurt physically or even mentally, I can't relate, or I can't experience their hurt or their pain. That is why that separation probably.
So let's validate that from our experience. You see? Also, it is not completely true that when an object in our perception feels something, seems to feel something, like suddenly if something happens here, and there's like a hurt or something for this one, you'll also feel an ouch suddenly. You see?
How?
If, like I take this example, if you're driving on the road and the cyclist in front of you falls down, you'll also say ouch, no? Although that one will not be related to you. So,
But
something.
that's because take it into our experience, that how would we feel,
Yeah.
because whenever
But
I
that
see that.
there is no time to make that calculation. Just naturally something which is at a deeper level feels the interconnected. You see?
Yeah.
So that is naturally felt. But the point is, actually, in actuality, we can't even confirm the existence of another. Like Maharaj Nisargadatta said, the only truth I can speak is that I am. The only truth that I can speak is I am. But ultimately, even that is not true. So you have never experienced the presence, the existence of another. You have only experienced your own being. You see? And they, for all you know, they could just be like dream characters. We could be having this conversation in a dream. Isn't it? Exactly the same words could be spoken. And you would
Yes.
say, in the dream, it might feel like, oh, you are that one and I am this one. But actually, what is there? Are there one or two in a dream?
There's only one something happening. I'm like, I don't know. It's not even one or two. It's
Yes.
just.
Exactly, exactly. So if this exact situation could also appear in that which we call the dream state, now that we are in this waking state, you see, then it could be very much like what King Janaka said. Janaka said, Master, to Ashtavakra, he said, Master, I am very confused. I don't know whether I am the king who had the dream that I was a butterfly, or I am the butterfly that is having the dream that I am the king.
Okay.
So we cannot really say, except the content of our current perception, if something is or not. You see, we cannot say that another is experiencing this. You see, we cannot even confirm the existence of another. It is just a perception that is happening.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
So, from our experience itself, what we are validating is from our experience itself, from our perception itself, from the witnessing itself. Is there a sense of me and other, or me and mine, without a belief, without a story, or it is needed to have a belief, have a story before I can say me and mine, or me and other?
The other I can sense only through
This
my.
is, sorry, but this is a story. You see,
Huh.
you have to slow down, really slow down, and not go to your mind for the answer. Just speak from what you are perceiving.
Okay.
Where is the me right now?
Where is the me right now?
Yes. From your perceptions, from your insight, can you spot this me?
The one that's observing all the happening.
What about the body? What about the mind?
Then that also becomes probably the other that's observed.
If this body mind also is just a perception, then how does this, that is the pure witnessing itself, identify with this perception?
Yes, actually.
Only with the belief, only with the story. You see? Try to do it. Try to identify with this body mind. You say very beautifully that I am that which witnesses all of this. And I see that this body mind also is witnessed. Now, how does this witness identify with anything, including this body mind?
Because of the perceptions. I mean, if anything, the perception, touch, or my thoughts, I can, you know, I can sense my thoughts, like, something is coming to me. But if something else is coming to someone else, I would not be able to see their thoughts or understand their thoughts. So probably that's why that separation of me and other.
Yes, yes. But that is also a presumption that they are having these thoughts. We can look at, we just explored this and said we can't even confirm their separate existence, because for all we know, they could be just dream characters appearing in our perception, isn't it?
But again, isn't that a belief if it's not true in my experience? Probably that's true in your experience because you're like, probably you're living that, but then I'm not able to.
Yeah. So let's slow down in this and let's look. So you don't have the experience of another's thoughts, isn't
Yes.
it? Yes. So isn't it a belief that they must be having thoughts?
Yes, it is.
Yes. So if you don't believe anything right now, we can come back to this question. So how is it that that which is the pure witnessing then identifies as something? You see? I'll give you an example. When a child is told, like, this happened with us. When our son was small, we bought him a small toy to hang on his pram. You see? And we were excited because we spent money on the toy, so we said we want him to play with it. So he kept pointing to that toy, play with this toy. So for a moment, he put his hand up and we got a bit excited. Okay, he's going to play with the toy, which is hanging on top of him. And then he started playing with his hand instead. You see, he started playing with the hand instead. So, so the children don't have this idea, this notion that, okay, this is toy, this is outside of me. This is hand, this is inside of me. For them, toy and hand was the same. They're just entertaining them with whatever perception seems to be coming up or appearing for them. In the same way, it is true for us without our notions. You see, like you said very nicely, actually, you said this body is also another perception. You see, this body is another perception. And I said, if you don't believe in other, if you don't believe in others' thoughts, if you don't believe in others' emotion, don't believe in the concept of another, just like we're not believing in the concept of me. You see, and we see from there. You see, then what do you find here? If you don't believe anything at all, then do you find yourself to be something limited?
No, this body mind is limited, but I mean, I don't know what is me, but then the witnessing is not limited.
Witnessing is not limited. This body mind seems to be limited. You see? Now, let me see if we can stretch this even more. So now this witnessing in its manifest existence has given to itself the power to consider itself to be something. You see, it can identify as something. You see? Now, all that is appearing, you can identify with. You see? Either as me or mine, we have identified with all that has been appearing, and that has caused all this trouble.
Yes.
See if you can come with me on this little experiment. You see? So instead of identifying with just this body, you see, identify with every body which is in front of you. You see? And I go fast. You can tell me where you want me to pause and slow down. Now, identify with everybody.
10 minutes, Guruji, I have my class.
Okay. So.
And this is getting interesting. I don't want to leave it in between.
No worries, we'll continue. So, not just the body, identify with every object which is there in your perception. You have the power to identify with one appearance, and you also have the power to identify with every appearance. And you can try this slowly when we have time. Let me just tell you the experiment, and then you tell me what happens. Yes? So, go slowly. You start with identifying with one body in front of you, then all the bodies in front of you. Then all the objects, every object, not just bodies, every object you can identify with equally. You see, consider yourself to be everything, all of this which is appearing. Then also include the space.
But Guruji, identify means what do you mean? I mean, would it be considered me or mine? Like, I really don't understand what do you mean by identifying.
Identify as me, as all of this as me. Don't pick out just one body from your perception, which is the one body that we used to identifying with. Huh?
How is it possible?
That is why it's an experiment. You have to tell me whether it's possible or not. Okay, so now you go for class whenever you want. But then you replay this recording and I'll just run through what I want you to do. You see? And then with your own time, you can pause at every step. And you tell me tomorrow or day after when you get the time, you tell me if it is possible or not. You see?
Tomorrow 4:30 have the satsang, no?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, then I'll join you then. I'll tell you.
We don't have satsang. We have this beautiful Kabir singer called Prahlad Ji Tipanya, who's coming to our house. So he's going to be singing tomorrow for us. But you can send me a message. You can come day after at 11 a.m. and we can continue the conversation. You can tell me what happened.
Again.
We have class. So then Friday 4:30, then you can come. So don't worry.
Yeah, good for me.
Oh, sorry, Friday. Okay, we'll see. Whenever you can come now. You miss the class otherwise. So there's a set of perceptions. There are millions of them. You see, we have taken some of those and we have called it the body. You see, now we have identified with this body and we have added another set of perceptions called thoughts, memories, imagination, all of this, and we've called that the mind. So we've identified with one set of sensations that we call the body and another set of sensations that we call the mind, and we've called that me. You see? Now, the experiment, listen to the experiment now, otherwise you'll get, we won't have time. So the experiment is that among all these perceptions, we are not to single out any of them. See? We're not to single out any of them. Either we treat them at the same level. So either we don't identify with anything at all, or we identify with everything. You see? So either we call nothing the me, or we call everything the me.
Nothing wala is better. Nothing wala is much better. Identify with nothing.
Okay, you do this. Don't identify with any perception as me. And you tell me whether it is possible or not. And then the mind will give you all kinds of things that how will I go to class? How will I do my homework? How will I listen? How will I speak? You see, all of this. But know that it's just another perception. Don't put the me on it. Don't identify with it as a me. So you try this for a day or two. And then you come and report, so what happened? See?
I'll try both of them. Identifying with everything and identifying with nothing.
Look, that's good. Either or both.
Like, the memory.
Yes. I said either or both. Both are fine. When memory
Both I'll
comes,
try.
know that memory is another set of perceptions, another set of sensations. You see? So don't identify with that also. See
No,
if it is
but what
possible.
I will identify with my memories because I have that that storage. I mean, like that storage is there that will come back to me. But someone else's memories, I won't be able to identify with. So that's why probably that there is that separation of me and my story, and someone else's whose I don't know or whose memories don't come to me.
Suppose 11 o'clock you joined the satsang and actually you fell asleep. It was so boring. You see? I started speaking and it was so boring that you fell asleep. Suppose that's what happened. You see? And you're here having this conversation in a dream. You see? Now the last 10 minutes of this dream are also memory, but who do they belong to?
Who do they belong to?
Okay, let me put it in a simpler way. You start a dream. You're a cowboy in Texas. Huh? You're a cowboy in Texas and you have your lasso and you're doing all the cowboys stuff. Huh? The dream started, you're on top of the horse already. You see? How do you remember how to ride a horse?
No idea.
Whose memory is that? You see, if I ask that cowboy, how are you? He'll say, I learned how horse riding when I was very young at 5. My father put me on a pony. You see? So this memory is as much just a present perception as anything else. We only give it reality with our identification with it. We can never really confirm. Like even in this conversation, if I ask all the ones who are sitting here, what was really spoken, everybody will have a different memory of it. You see? Like,
some memories
huh?
Some memories will match now. Probably 2-3 of them. And then we'll be like, oh yes, this is correct.
It could. It could. And that is why this Leela goes on in its beautiful design. It can seem like this play goes on. You see? But the beautiful example is that you don't start a dream with amnesia, do you? You don't enter a dream and then it's like, okay, who am I? Why am I wearing this cowboy hat? Once I had a dream here, the dream was just starting and I could see these people there. They were starting to appear. And then something happened and something came back to this dream or waking state, whatever you call it. And for a moment there was regret. I said, no, but that was my family. These people are new to me. You see? So, so there was, when they appeared, there was memory of them. And it feels like they were familiar. You see? So memory is as unreliable an instrument as any other appearance. You see? So don't worry, you go to class, you do this experiment for 1 or 2 days, and don't identify with anything, including the memories which are coming. Don't call them my memories. You don't have to do anything except don't label anything as me. Don't make any separation.
Okay.
Yes?
ठीक है. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my love.
Bye. Shall I leave for my class? Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Guruji.
Father, please explain about dark night of the soul. Now, usually I don't explain these kind of things because what happens here is that whatever I end up explaining, half of you start believing that this is what's happening to you. Like if I explain about some energy, then you feel like, oh, this is what's happening to you. And if I start talking about dark night of the soul, then the mind will come and say, yes, see, this is what's happening to you. You're in the, even those for whom it is not happening, they start picking up this idea that this is what is happening to me and I must be done with this or something like that. So I just share a little bit about it, but you don't have to take it too seriously. You don't have to take it too seriously. It can feel like when we're coming to the end of conditioning, when we're coming to this awakening of true recognition of who we are, we're coming to the point of dropping all that is false. It can feel like everything in the design of this play starts to feel very oppressive, and the mind starts interpreting everything in a very, very serious, in a very, very gloomy sort of way. Everything can start seeming like it's an attack. You feel like there is no peace, there is no joy. Everything starts to feel meaningless in a personal sort of way. So this is a very common occurrence. It is not a prerequisite, but it is a very common occurrence for those who are coming to this end of one chapter and coming to this new chapter. So it can feel like at the end of this chapter, there is this extreme sadness, extreme confusion, extreme lack of understanding, meaninglessness, but it's still taken personally. So it can feel like the person walks into this dark night of the soul, but God walks out of it. So the best part about having a master is that you don't have to worry about these things. You can keep coming to satsang and dark night, bright night, dark day, bright day. You don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to fight any battle. You don't have to worry about anything at all. All is the Sadgurus to carry. All is your masters to carry. That is why you can safely Guru Kripa Kevalam, the dark night idea. It's only shared in satsang sometimes because it tells you that not to feel despondent. If it is feeling like this, then when the term is applied to it, then you feel like, okay, this is part of the natural functioning of this. So there is nothing terribly wrong with me or something which is happening only to me. You can feel like, yes, all these emotions, all these states are coming, but it is not unnatural and I am well taken care of. So if the term gives you some reassurance that it is taken care of, then you can apply the term. Otherwise, safer always is to forget about it. Somebody asked me the other day, how do I surrender? And I said to them, don't make any conclusions. To them, don't make any conclusions. And they said, oh, that is surrender? Is that it? I said, yes. Try it. Try living without conclusion. Live without position. Live without any stance. Then you will see that all of this was a facade anyway. Life has just always been life. What is has always just been what is. Empty of notions, empty of positions, empty of all opposites. Forget about everything that can have an opposite.
ठीक है तो ठीक है वो स्ट्रॉबेरी वहां से अगर अच्छी
What? Is unmuted somewhere? Saying that empty of everything that can happen opposite. If you feel that you have found a truth, if you feel you have found a truth which has an opposite which was the false, then forget about this truth. This is very important. If you feel like you have found a truth which actually had an opposite, which you call the false, then forget about this truth. The truth that you are being pointed to in Satsang does not have the opposite, does not have an opposite. It is the ever unchanging truth. It cannot be shaken, it cannot be changed to false. The truth, this truth, capital T, is always true. So if there's a sense about, oh, I have something which is true, which was false, and I better hold on to it because it could become false again, then forget about it. Forget about right and wrong. Forget about doership and non-doership. Forget about duality and non-duality. Forget about cause and effect. Forget about me and mine. Forget about me and others. When sitting at an airport lounge, it looks like airport waiting area. And most importantly, forget about everything you think you are right about. Thank you all so much for being in Satsang today. Sadhguru Shri Muji Baba ki
Jai. Sadhguru Shri Ananta Ji ki Jai.
Guru Kripa Kevalam. Love you, love you, love you all. This airport. Oh, check-in line. He's just checking in. No? Yeah? Cat sit. Sing for checking. You can check in one day. It's like, what is the song? Where are you now? Where am I not? What is it? You're never separated. Never separated. Atma. Where are you not? We've had many places where people have joined satsang from hospital rooms. Shivani and Jyotima had come from hospital rooms. Outside, on a beach. You remember? Nick used to join from a beach in Brazil. Or cars, of course, all the time. Check-in line, first time, maybe.
Shivani used to try to.
Yeah. For now. So tomorrow we have this beautiful performance by Sri Prahlad Tipanya, who is a beautiful singer of Kabir songs, a great Indian saint. So we are very happy and delighted to host him here. And we have the broadcast at 5. So the time will be a little different. At 5 we have to go.